Now we're going to start with our backward pass. We know that the earliest that the project can finish is on day 24. Well, we wouldn't want to run it out any later than that, so we're going to say the latest it can finish is day 24. Now, doing the backward pass, we actually take the late finish, subtract the duration, and we get the early finish, which is day 23. And that's true for both of these final passes. Get our tasks. Get inspected and clean up. We carry the 23 forward. The late finish for build a fence is 23 days. Subtract 3. The late start is day 20. Okay. Late start is day 20. We go ahead and subtract this lag. Late finish is day 15. Subtract 2. Late start is day 13. Looking pretty predictable, isn't it? Okay, now we can carry forward this 13 onto place posts and then subtract 1 day, and that gives us a late start of day 12 for place posts. But there's something else going on outside the screen, and so I'm going to change our view a little bit so that we can figure out what's going on with another task on which Pour Concrete is dependent. Okay, the screen looks a little bit different now, but as you remember, we were on Pour Concrete and we'd already figured the late start of place posts. But you can see that Pour Concrete is also dependent on purchasing concrete being done. Well, okay, same thing goes on here. We carry 13, the late finish, forward here to purchase concrete. 13 minus 1 is 12. Okay, that looks fairly familiar right here. Same thing here, right? Okay, but this does get a little more interesting, trust me. So here we are with place posts, and its late start is 12, and we know that it depends on both digging holes and purchasing lumber. Well, let's stay with the digging holes. We carry this 12 forward here to dig holes, subtract 3, and that gives us 9. 12 and down to 12. So the last day that purchasing lumber can finish is on day 12. It takes a day to finish, and the last day it can start is on day 11. Let's go back up to digging holes. So we already know that the latest start that digging holes can have is day 9. We carry the 9 forward, subtract 2, and that gives us 7. Here we are. Voila! Another view, and only our first 2 tasks to work through. We need to work out what the late finish and the late start is for both of those tasks. Well, we have 3 tasks that are dependent on obtaining permits being done. We have measure and mark, and its late start is day 7. The late start for purchase concrete is 12, and the late start for purchase lumber is 11. So let's think about which one we might carry back here to obtain permits. If we chose to say that day 12, this can end on day 12, you can see that in fact that would slide everything else forward if this ended on day 12. And we don't want to do that. So we actually take the smallest number on our backward pass and carry it to its previous task. Late finish for obtained permits is 7 minus 1 is 6. So late start is day 6. Here we go. Late finish, not too surprisingly, is day 6 minus the 6-day duration is 0. So the earliest and the latest that this project can start is day 0. So now let's try and work out where the critical path is and what's going on with these tasks, which have some differences between late finish and early finish, right? See that? So critical path, if you eyeball what's going on in all these tasks, you can see that their early start and their late start, their early finish and their late finish matches all the way through. That means there's no slack in each task. It has to, the latest it can start and the earliest it can start is the same. And that's the way it works with the finishes. So I'm going to scroll back over here to these other two tasks. Check this out though. The earliest this can finish is on day 8 by this logic. 7 minus 1 is 8. But it can actually finish as late as day 13 because as you can see, pour concrete is dependent on it, and that one has to start by day 13. So that says, there's an extra 5 days. There's 5 days of slack there. That gives us flexibility. If we don't have the resources to purchase the concrete on day 7, we can actually wait until day 12 to purchase that concrete. Same thing with lumber. So we know that placing posts has to start on the latest it can start is day 12. So we can see that if we don't have time for the lumber to get purchased on day 7 and then it gets done on day 8, we can actually wait as late as day 11 for the lumber to get purchased, and then it can end at day 12. That again means there's flexibility in these tasks when they can start and when they can end. There isn't any flexibility in anything else. The other tasks are all on the critical path, which is the longest path in the network diagram.